Hi, Capstone students. It's Teresa Patterson. Just checking in with you and kind of walking through a couple things that will be happening this week and next week. So here at the Content tab, I just want to make you aware that we are here at week 5. And this was a big week in terms of output because it's the first time that I'm going to see your writing quality and be able to speak into any concerns that I might have. Remember that we talked early on about having an editor, that person that is your second reader who is going to look at your drafts before you turn them in. Now, some people choose to do that at each assignment. Other times people choose to do that only at the end. So let's say you choose to do that at each assignment. I will probably be seeing very clean drafts that are coming in. They're not necessarily error-free, but you've looked them over very carefully, and then your reader looked them over very carefully and made corrections for you, and then you sent me the draft that had already been corrected. So that's one way. The other way is you continue to submit sections to me. I make comments that you're going to need editing. There's some issues with the writing quality, etc. It doesn't mean you don't pass the assignment. So I'll make a comment, but if it meets the content requirements, then you pass and you move on. Knowing that at the end of the road, you're going to turn in an error-free draft that is going to be edited by your second reader. So those are just choices that you make, and there's not a wrong or right way. It's completely up to you. As far as where people should be right now. So I have several students that are back here in week 3. That is a concern for me in that I don't want people to fall behind. However, it is a self-paced class, and sometimes there's spits and starts. So people will keep going week by week, get off a couple weeks due to like a sports requirement if you're coaching, maybe you're in your coaching season. Or there's things going on at home or work, so that's fine. I will send you emails just showing my concern, but again, it does not impact your score if you turn things in late. So just a reminder on that. Here, week 5 was pretty significant as far as the IRB was concerned. So those of you that are doing action research, please remember that you are here. You were here this week, and it was really important that you get your IRB application in this week and at latest next week. The IRB does not meet often. I don't want your application to be sitting, waiting to get approved. You cannot collect any data at all without this IRB approval. And please notice that you do have to submit your IRB paperwork during week 5 or 6. Past that time, I'm not going to be able to assure that you are going to get quickly approved, and you literally will be stuck, and I don't want to see that happening. Please remember that you submit your IRB application to me first. I will take a look at it. I will sign it. Then you will send it to Angela Moffett here. She will bring it to the IRB, and they will give it back to you, and then you'll come back here to 5.4, and you'll just submit the approved form. Most of you will use the exemption form here because what you're doing is standard educational practice, but please, please, please read all of this carefully, because if you do not get approved by me for an exemption, you'll have to do the full IRB application, which includes all of these different forms that need to be created. And so you need time for that. Okay, so that was really where we were for week 5. Let's look ahead to week 6. So this week, 2 major things occur. You will be using the template from this point forward in all of your submissions. Some of you are already using it, which is fantastic. No problem at all. So what that means is you'll pull the template up here, and you will start placing each section into the template and then just submitting that to me each time. So I will see the paper develop from the very outset, and as will you. Also, I will see your reference page that is going to start with the introduction so that you're going to build your references that are showing up. Don't put something on the reference page until you use it. So I don't want to see all of your 20 or so resources on there at the beginning. I only want to see the ones that you've actually cited. So that's super important. And here is your subheadings and sections proposal for your lit review. I'll go ahead and open this so that we can take a look at it. So here we've listed 4 subheads. 4 subheads is pretty standard for your lit review. You can certainly have more. Many people do. You cannot really have less and have an excellent, well-developed lit review. So if that's an issue, we'll talk about it. So basically, you're going to come up with what those subheadings will be named. And then you'll notice here that you are going to kind of let us know what articles you're going to be using under each subhead. You should reference 4 or more peer-reviewed journal articles under each subheading. The reason that we do that is because you have to have a well-balanced lit review that has many, many, many different insights, and you don't want to have just one author talking in a section. That would not be a review of all the literature that is available for your topic. Okay, so again, it is another busy week in Capstone. When we hit, just looking ahead, when we hit week 7, there is a slowdown there. So because the lit review slows you down, you don't often get out of week 7 in week 7. It usually takes longer. That's sort of been factored into the rest of the schedule. So don't be panicked about that at all. Most people still finish ahead of the 16 weeks, even with those issues. I also want to make you aware that I will be on vacation October 13th through the 15th, and I won't check any capstones during that time. I do usually check every day and grade every day, so I won't be doing that. But when I come back on the 16th, I will be back to regular grading, but I will respond to questions via email even during vacation. So if you have any problems, please let me know. So I'm excited for you as you sort of get into those, the meaty pieces with the lit review and the introduction. Please do not feel, worried or anxious or sad if you receive feedback that you need to do corrections. Honestly, it is only for your benefit, and it is because if we can correct those things early, then it tends to be very clean and neat at the end. Speaking of the end, I'm just going to kind of go here because this is something that will happen to students, and I want to try to avoid it this term for you if possible. So you're going to turn in your final submission for professor feedback around week 13, okay? And in that week 13 draft, you will feel like you have completed or finished. But the truth is, okay, there are other assignments at the end of this course that have to be completed. And so you don't want to have this assignment come in here because you won't have all of these other pieces done. So you really, towards the end especially, want to be ahead of the game or exactly on the schedule, because there's plenty of time if you're exactly on the schedule or ahead of the game. It gets a little dicey if you get down here, okay? Especially if there's significant issues with the draft. So keep planning ahead, staying on track as much as possible, and I'm looking forward to working with you and helping you in this process. Have a very good week. Know that I'm praying for you by name every single day, and I'm hopeful for you and your work and your families and all the things that are going on. Have a fantastic week.